225-mile run. Timekeeping in this race is more important than speed. In order to win the Greenhorn, a rider has to first determine his own time schedule by figuring his estimated time of arrival at each checkpoint along the course. If he arrives either before or after this ETA, he's penalized. The winner of this race is the one who most exactly sticks to his time schedule. Riders start with a total of 1,000 points and lose a portion of this total if they arrive early or late at the checks. The Greenhorn run starts shortly after dawn, and by 6:15 in the morning, the riders are well underway. Here we see Bill Adams, a strong competitor in any event, as he rolls up to his check key on time. Here we're 11 miles out on the course on Foothill Boulevard in La Crescenta. PMC members check the riders' times for the record. Up till now, the run has been easy. But as the riders head toward Little Tujunga Canyon, the course becomes increasingly more difficult. And here comes one of the side hack teams through Little Tujunga Canyon. Before this two-day event is over, the riders are going to wish there was a lot more of this pavement and a little less of the sand and rough terrain. 3 members of the Checkers Motorcycle Club as they head into check number 3 in Sand Canyon. At this point, the riders have traveled 43 miles from the starting point, Johnson Motors on Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. From here, they turn into the first sand wash where the going gets a little tougher. One by one, the BSAs, AJs, Zundaps, and Triumphs and other motors file by. The father and son team pass by on a Tiger Cub, followed by Gene Ritteroff on a 250cc Pook, being chased by another Triumph. The sand starts to take its toll as one hack team pushes through the sand wash. Larry Lewis's side hack gets a wheel repair, and loose sand, dirt, and rocks, plus narrow going, make it plenty rough on the sidecars. And it's not too easy for the solo riders either. At Mint Canyon, near the Oaks, the riders pause for their first gas stop and a 10-minute rest. This is a chance for the riders to make hasty repairs and get a cool drink. They've traveled some 73 miles, but it's only the beginning. Losing time crossing the highway is one of the necessary evils, but riders must observe all traffic laws at all times. From the gas check at Mint Canyon, they head for their first dirt mountain roads on the way to Lake Elizabeth. With the mountain roads behind them, the riders hit the Muntz Ranch area, and the smooth pavement is a welcome relief. Our camera catches a Shamrock making good time as he comes onto the open highway. #1 rider Buck Smith on a Triumph TR6 arrives at the noon check in Mojave. Buck Smith and Bob Green of PMC rode in side by side. Mojave, about 135 miles out, is approximately halfway through the first day's run. Riders get their first real chance at a rest, spending an hour eating and shooting the breeze and making necessary repairs. Previous Greenhorn winner Eddie Day arrives in good time. Followed by Floyd Burke's matchless and AJS team. Bob Green, editor of Hot Rod magazine and an avid motorcycle enthusiast, was one of the PMC officials and a key man in this race. A hungry rider goes to work on a chicken leg. The Triumph pit crew makes a hasty wheel repair for one of the competitors. The Shamrock team of Bud Dorton, Buck Smith, and Charles Canutt leave Mojave and again head for the desert, followed by part of the 190 entries. A private duel develops on a quiet mountain road. At Cantil, check number 8, riders get another 10 minutes for gas. Fill her up good because it's a long way to the next gas stop. Some 30 miles later, after traveling both desert and mountain areas, we arrive at the base of Greenhorn Mountain. Check number 10. On the way, the overnight stop and the starting point for the second day's run. #1, Buck Smith, finishes the first day's run and is greeted by PMC members Fred Prinz and Bill Dunn. Second and third men in are fellow Shamrock riders Bud Dorton and Charles Canutt. Earl Freeland, winner of this year's Jackrabbit Enduro, gives our camera a wave. Dirt digger rider Rich Forrest checks his watch to determine exactness of his ETA. Next morning, fully refreshed and raring to go, the riders leave and head for the Paiute Mountains. Shamrock riders Buck Smith, Bud Dorton, and Charles Canutt once again hit the rough terrain, followed by TR6 mounted Earl Freeland. Here we are in Jawbone Canyon, and whoops, one man takes a spill. A rider in this type of event has to be alert at all times. He never knows when a rock or a chuck hole or a spine-tingling cactus will loom up and cause him to lose valuable time. Sidecar passengers have their work cut out for them, too. Wayne Krogsy and Bill Woods in the Triumph sidecar pass by. And they're followed by Leroy Lucero and Otis Bisbee with the AJS sidecar. At Boron, California, midway the next day, our riders roll in for lunch. A shade tree is welcome in this 100-degree desert heat. From here, the riders have some 35 to 40 miles of open desert, fighting sand and stifling heat, and then a refreshing change as they climb into the Angeles Crest Forest. And here's the sign they've all been looking for, Pasadena, and the finish line at Johnson Motors. First man in is Bud Dorton, followed by Buck Smith and Charles Cornett. Out of the 190 starters, only 70 found their way back to the finish line in this rugged Greenhorn Enduro. When the points were tabulated, it was determined that Buck Smith, riding a Triumph TR6, was the Grand Sweepstakes winner, with Bud Dorton, number 201, also on a Triumph, copping first place in the open class and second overall. Number 101, Charles Cornett, was the 500cc class winner, riding a Triumph TR5. All of these men were sponsored by Lammy Lamoureux, Glendale Triumph and Ariel dealer. One by one, the riders come in. Last year's winner, Cal Brown, congratulates number 11, Lee Stinson, as he rolls in with a smashed front wheel. Incidentally, Buck Smith, this year's winner, lost only 24 points, with Bud Dorton just 1 point behind with 25. It was just that close, which means that it takes not only a good motorcycle, stamina, and endurance, but also plenty of good thinking to win this exciting Greenhorn Enduro run.